Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise. I'm Lamar Haven. Welcome to Bastion. Bastion has got to be one of the most well-known indie games out there. For very good reason. But I'm not going to give it any more pomp and circumstance, because I've given it none, actually. Because we're going to move straight in and let it do it so itself.
Proper story is supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble. Ground forms up under his feet as if pointing the way. He don't stop to wonder why. Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road. Well, it's a touching reunion.
I suppose you could call it that. We are wielding the KL hammer. It allows us to destroy pretty much anything in our way. And we can evade with A button. B button, as you can see in the bottom right corner, is how we're using the hammer.
He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. In the Calamity.
Calamity is something that will be expanded upon, of course.
That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Fella got a piece of him, though.
As you, one of the main features of this game is the absolutely amazing narration.
Kid just rages for a while.
That reacts to how you behave in the game. It does a very, very good job of allowing your gameplay to affect the narration, and how it affects the story itself, and how everything is experienced.
An old repeater falls out of the sky. Ain't a gift from the gods, but it'll have to do.
We now have our second weapon, the Fang Repeater.
Gotta hold her still to spin up the chamber.
And notice how if you stand still while using the hammer, it does a stronger attack. That is something I haven't pointed out just yet.
Kid's worked up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting. Sometimes you just need a drink.
And that's how you refill your health tonics and use them.
And then he falls to his death. I'm just fooling. A school of squirts tunnels up around him.
The squirts are easily handled by the Fang Repeater, though you can use any weapon that you have available to you right now. Refill our health tonics. Just, taking it slow, letting us experience these things one at a time.
He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The Calamity got him before his drinking did.
So the more stuff we destroy, the more of those little blue objects we collect. Not sure what those do
Then
quite
Kid
yet.
finds his trusty shield.
Bullhead shield. Hold left trigger to defend.
The security takes him for a petty thief.
How best to deal with you? Fang Repeater
Special
works.
delivery. Gas fellas.
Alright, careful, you don't want to take too much damage, for what I hope is obvious reasons. They've got a big wind-up, you have a short one.
Wingbags start turning up for last call.
Keep them out of range if you wish. Get up close and show them the power of the sail hammer.
More squirts start coming out of the woodwork. A big old fella pops out in front of the kid.
When the biggest challenge is going to be figuring out when to talk and when to allow the narration to do the talking. Big fella's gone. Something to also keep track of is ammunition. Obviously, I have to reload nearly constantly due to the fact that the Fang Repeater's got very short
Kid
clip.
sees the way to the Bastion out the window. It's a bit of a drop.
Let's head on back out. Oh, we can't. You might notice I actually skipped some things outside. That might be a running theme of this playthrough.
He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke.
Breaker's Bow, one of my favorites of the game. Hold down the X button.
Wasn't long
And
before
shoot.
the kid could loose an arrow, strong and true. Kid spies a good perch for some target practice. He knows he should draw the string all the way back.
So you might notice you get a power shot when you hold the blow long enough.
The kid pockets a memento from a breaker, once the fastest man in the land.
We found something stringy, an upgrade material for the Breaker's Bow, a stretch of meat-gut prized by bowyers and pet-wall fans. One more reason for the popularity of meese hunting. The city crest is also something we've already had in our pack, a memento, an identification badge from the old days. All those on official business from the city bear the Star of Ceylondia. It is said to represent warmth, labor, and sacrifice. You might notice that you can counter if you manage to use your shield.
Good news is the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid.
Careful. Thankfully, the shield doesn't have anything along the lines of durability and whatnot. Bad news is, you gotta be able to put it up in time.
Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome. He's a mighty fast learner.
Whoopsie. Fast learner, bad at practice, though. Alright. Come on, you little whippersnappers. Looks like we've got more of the cannons. Let's head back here, grab some of the tonic and potion. Oopsies, that was the wrong button. Still getting used to them. First time picking up this game in many years. Not holding back the bowstring far enough.
He finds the distillery, right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town.
Or at least it was.
One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man.
So, what we have here are different spirits that we can put up. These will have permanent effects for as long as they're equipped on our characters. Squirt Cider, available, gives us 10 max health. Fermented Squirt Extract with a nose of stale bread and ocean water. Very nutritious. Dread Rum, 10% critical chance, active only when at full health. Pungent concoction that calms senses and steadies nerves, favored by the breakers and other fighting forces. And finally, Fetching Fizz, absorbs stray fragments. Started as a barroom prank, but evolved to become popular with miners and scrap workers. Metallic aftertaste. So I think we're gonna stick with Squirt Cider for now. Spirits provide passive bonuses, as it says. As you can see, we can get more, but we have to reach higher levels to be able to unlock the slots for them.
The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job.
And here's where we get to choose which weapon we use and which special ability we use. Right now we have Whirlwind. We also have Dancing Shot, the Breaker's Bow skill, a secret breaker technique that causes the arrow to bounce from target to target. Originally intended only for spectacle, but it proved to have practical uses. Requires 1 black tonic per use. Then there's a Whirlwind skill we've already seen, a furious spinning strike that can damage multiple foes, originally developed by the City Masons wrecking teams. And finally, the Bolt Burst, a Fang Repeater skill. You must have the Fang Repeater equipped to be able to use it. A spiral of bolts that deals damage in every direction. Trappers would rely on this technique in the event they got surrounded. I think I'm going to stick with the Breaker Bow Shot, the Dancing Shot. But I'm good with the Sail Hammer and the Breaker's Bow. Oopsies, I was pressing the wrong button. As you can see, the Breaker's Bow, when fully charged, can hit multiple enemies. but when they're that close, you're probably better off using a melee weapon.
Some of them squirts birthing like crazy in a couple of corn bins.
So let's break them out, shall we? Get out of here, squirts. Oh my. Wonder who this is. It seems not everybody survived the incident that caused all this mess.
An old ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now.
Careful. Ah. Ugh. Timing is off. Let's hope special shot from the secret ability will help out.
Kid
Something
takes
heavy.
a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Bad time to run out of black tonic. Kid maybe shouldn't have done what he just did.
That's what you think in mysterious voice.
Robs a scumbag of his last meal.
Uh-oh. Come on. Gotta stay on your toes and keep moving. And be careful, the floor is gonna fall out right from under you if you're too slow.
Kid puts him out of his misery.
Collect all the little glowiness. Alright. Might be
He
our...
finds the core to the wharf district. He steals the city's heart. Might as well.
Alright, at this point, you gotta worry not more about survival and less about making sure you kill every enemy on your way.
Kid has a feeling he better get a move on. The place is starting to fall. Kid just keeps running. Somersaulting like crazy. At last, the skyway's in sight. Whisks him where he needs to go.
Ride the wind.
Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races.
Welcome to the Bastion.
Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me.
Our mysterious stranger.
We talk for a spell.
Ask about the seal representing the city of Celandia. Weren't these only meant as, to be for uniform
There's a
identification?
bit of the Bastion's power on that crest. Enough to point the way to the cores.
Apparently not. Core, ask about the strange bluish mineral found in the wharf district. Feels warm to the touch and hums like a motor. What exactly does it do?
All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there. Then watch.
Well, there's not much else to do other than just that, I suppose.
And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again. Growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown.
And here we are with a stronger than ever Bastion.
Kid ponders what to build.
But now we get to choose what we want to add to the Bastion. We can add the distillery, plans for the facility whose specially brewed spirits enhance one's natural abilities. Just need a place to build it. The only spirits permitted on the rippling walls were the kind that increased productivity. And the arsenal. Plan for the facility that stores weapons and secret skills. Just need a place to build it. Caelondia pioneers always traveled light, locking up anything they didn't need on hand. So for now, I think we're gonna go with the arsenal, just so we can play with more weapons, you know? Arsenal Mirror Shield available.
The Bastion's a place of peace, but we can hold our own if we have to.
And now we have new secret skill, Mirror Shield, a secret technique that automatically counterblocks all incoming attacks for a short time, made famous in the spectacular showing in the Bullhead Court. I'm gonna just practice my suck less, so we don't need that. And I think we'll stick with the Sail Hammer and the Breaker's Bow.
Ain't much kid can't handle with hammer and bow in hand.
Like he says, it's a good combination.
Ain't always much to say.
Unfortunately, no. So why don't we head
You don't
forward?
know what's out there waiting for him. The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands.
We can head to the Workman Ward, where we do detect a core. Find it and bring it back. There may be useful supplies here as well.
The Workman Ward. Them windbags used to keep the city humming along here.
Apparently the windbags were not exactly monsters to be feared in the past. We cleared the Wharf District. The once busy shipping lanes are now completely
The
gone.
Wharf District. Folks sail deep into the boundless sea from here.
The sea. We don't even see the ocean. And here's the Breaker Barracks Proving Grounds. Here the Breakers once honed their skills and focused with their bows.
The Breaker Barracks. Many straight shooters learn their way here.
Why don't we add ourselves to that number? With the Breaker's bow, release an arrow at just the right moment for a power shot. A
The
time
Breakers
thing
used
I'm
to
gonna
come here
learn.
for target practice. Used to play a little game. See who could bust the most targets and the fewest shots.
And that's going to be our goal here. Clear all targets in a few shots.
He's focused. He's armed. And he's off.
The problem here isn't time, it's number of shots, so keep that in mind. So what you want to do is you take your bow and you want to look for the perfect angle to hit as many of these things as possible and destroy them with a power shot. It's tempting to go from this corner up to here and shoot all of this row down that I'm looking at. However, I would have to shoot 3 times to clear this row, or 2 times possibly, the other direction, so I don't know if that would be 100% efficient. And I'd also have to still clear this. So right now we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4 shots to clear everything. That doesn't sound right to me. So let's try a different strategy, shall we? It didn't kill them either. No. Can I cancel a shot? I can't. Yeah, I messed up.
Perfect shot.
There we
just
go.
happens in a flash.
Perfect. Okay. I'm getting used to the power shot again. I also keep forgetting to count this one. And
Puts on the right solid performance.
but that only gets us a silver prize, the second prize. Something fancy. Next prize in 5 shots or fewer. So if you remember what I counted, that would probably mean restart.
Kid ain't had enough of the Breaker's Barracks.
That would mean being able to destroy all of these in only 5 shots, which means a power shot every single time.
Takes practice, and a mighty strong bow helps too.
As you can see, I'm not pulling it off. Oh, RB and right LB can switch targets. Good to know that. I've messed up my aim. Let's give that another shot, shall we? I'll cut it out if this takes me too many attempts.
He's feeling real proud of
You damn right I am. Let's claim our prize. Breaker Volley, a new special attack. Or secret attack, I should say. Let's head back to the Skyway and go back to our armory so we can equip that, shall we?
I almost don't believe it when he says he passed the Breaker's challenge. Sometimes a single look says it all.
Alright, let's take a look at the arsenal. Go from Dancing Shot to Breaker Volley. Breaker Bow skill. A skill used by the swiftest breakers, delivering arrow after arrow in rapid succession. Devised by the breaker's most renowned archery instructor. Alright. So why don't we move on and explore the Workman Ward, sorry. Drink spirits, distillery to gain passive bonuses. We'll work on that some other time.
Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong.
The Workman Yard.
Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one? He heads for the squirt steps. Won't be no field trip this time.
Implies that, as children, you went on field trips to the squirt steps. For all this. Almost like I've learned what I'm doing with this thing. Come on. Don't even need to shoot. So you might be asking why I'm collecting these, Ragged
The white
Hood.
gas fellas all dress alike. Kids wondering the same thing.
Ragged Hood, a memento, a soiled garment like all the gas fellows wear. Gas fellows used to tend the mines, but now are storming the remains of Celandia in alarming numbers. But for what? We've also got something fancy, an upgrade for material for a certain weapon. The clockwork organizer, once used for work and recreation, these springs and sprockets could be put to better use. Something heavy, an upgrade material for sail hammer, a chunk of precious alloy found deep underground, the stable diet of gas fellows, also used in a manner of industry. So I'm collecting these potions and everything on the ground because they give you experience if you collect them and you don't need them.
And there it is. But it's locked down tight in an alloy cage.
We're not going to go this way just yet. We're going to head somewhere
The
else.
blustery old foreman's keeping his fellas in check, almost like he's showboating for the crowd. He heads for the east side, where windbags used to keep the local forge.
Careful.
Keeps
Yeah.
telling himself he better watch his step.
Yeah, I kind of got stuck over here. That guy was a lot stronger than I was expecting, a lot faster. So, my mistake. Also, you'll use any potions that you, if you need them, if they're on the ground and you have max potions.
Inside the forge, Key can fine-tune those instruments of his.
So we can now use all the something heavies, the something stringies, and the something fancies on what we have equipped to improve them. Select an upgrade. We can either increase the draw speed or increase the amount of penetrations. You can use these upgrades during the challenges. I chose not to because I knew I wouldn't need to, but if you would make it easier for you to, say, add penetrations, even though I couldn't find an angle that would matter for the amount, for the max penetrations, maybe you could. And I think drawstring is going to make it more useful as a weapon, though. It also uses those blue things that we've been collecting.
With a good length of meat gut, that bow's like new again.
Fortunately, we're going to need some more of that collection to get the next upgrade. But as you can see, they're not the same upgrades as up here. You'd only increase damage, or arrows cause damage over time. Let's also look at something heavy. We can either increase damage, or add a 10% crit chance. I think we're going to increase its damage, but right now we don't have the needed materials.
Core ain't here neither, so he's gotta guess again.
Oh, but looks like parts of the floors showing
Odd
up if we
place
go
to
down here.
find the likes of Percy the Snitch.
What a name. Huh, wonder where he got it. Ow! Apparently this gas fella takes offense to us going to see Percy the Snitch. Alright, let's take a drink and refill.
He heads for the biggest dump in town, Scumbag Alley.
Well, they just all kind of ran off the edge, didn't they?
And there he is, the oldest scumbag of them all, Gershel.
See, it can only pierce so many targets, the bow. So if you want to upgrade it,
The
consider
Calamity
it.
ain't done much for Gershel's sunny disposition.
Okay, well that's how that ability works. Would you believe I've never had a chance to test it before?
They always said old Gershel wouldn't go without a fight.
Well, he had a fight. It was fairly one-sided, unfortunately. Even with his little
No
companions.
core, no surprise. Like the gas fellas are hiding it from him.
Got a few of them. And my, what is this?
Scumbag
war
can
machete.
digest just about anything. Except for this. It's quick for slicing and light enough to throw.
Not as good as the bow, unfortunately, was as far as ranged weapons go. But my goodness, is it fast.
They say even the most rambunctious squirts can be tamed.
What we just
No
got
sign
is a
of the
new
core
secret
here.
ability
At least the kid got something for his trouble.
called a squirt lure. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like, only instead of just luring the squirts out and about, it lures squirts that can be tamed.
Them squirts just don't know when to quit.
The trick with the bow is to know how far you can move safely, and to charge it up, and then know exactly what angle you want to shoot at. Now we found something sharp, an upgrade material for the war machete. A batch of Zulwood leaves, best not handled barehanded. The world's sharpest blades are treated with their oil. Alright, so why don't we go to the actual core that we saw earlier, and we're immediately
Squirts
surrounded.
don't make the best of friends, but they can be useful in a pinch.
Alright, so let's get a couple of squirt buddies. Huh.
And now there's a new marshal in town.
All of those guys were only there to make sure we didn't leave the arena. My bad. Because I came up here and realized I came up to the one that
He
has
hears
the
whole
core,
place grown, but it's too tough to fall.
I immediately left. I
Kid's
kind of
ready to
missed that
go,
part of the
and
fight.
his ticket out's right where he started.
Alright, and as they say, the Skyway is right next to us. Build the Forge and
He
Bastion to
comes
upgrade
back,
weapons.
just like I knew he would. The core hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it.
We found the Ragged Hood. Why are they flooding the city, ransacking its remains?
The windbags used to be alright. Then the Calamity took the floor out from under him.
I suppose having something as calamitous as the destruction of everything around you might cause you to be a little upset. But hey, we've got a friendly squirt.
What else is there to say?
So put in the
Kid does
monument.
it again. Only fair he decides what we build next.
So what would be useful to us? Probably the distillery. I would say the forge, but the thing is, we're going to have to find another core soon anyway, so we might as well go with the one that lets us, you know...
Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply.
lets us add passive effects. We now have Hardy Punch. +1 chance to carry on if defeated. Damage surrounding foes if defeated. Aromatic beverage served piping hot. According to folk tales, it can almost wake the dead. Ware whiskey. 1 to 100% critical chance. Active only when below 33% health. Scentless yet very brisk beverage of boiled rattletail whisker. Used to revive patients in triage centers. And Cinderbrick Stout. 33% speed while defending. Spicy, nutty flavors and dry aftertaste. Very heavy and filling. I think I'm gonna go with the Hearty Punch. Very survival
Or that
flavors.
punch is so zesty, it'll let you carry on through the worst of times.
But there's going to be a reason for that. Go back here. An escort lure, while interesting, a special call that summons a loyal squirt companions to the rescue. Popular at children's birthday parties and useful in various other situations. Think we're gonna... No. Stop. I want to go to the breaker volley. And while the war machete is interesting, I think I'll stick with the sail hammer. We'll read those descriptions in a bit. But for now, I think it's time to move on. I am very excited to continue this LP. There's a great deal ahead of us, and I think it's just fitting that we leave it here for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you